Today I'm going to be working in my newest journal. The journal is made with my Tattered Meadows kit. It is a simple one signature journal, and it is made using a 9x12 envelope for the cover. I covered the outside with quilt batting and some cotton fabric. The colors went well with the kit, and the inside is covered with paper, and this is a background paper in the kit, and then I put some lace down the spine. Okay, has a real tatty edge. I just did a blanket stitch all the way around. There's a pocket here, and I have just started putting pockets and tags and things throughout the journal, but today I wanted to work on the center of the signature, and we're going to do something fun on both of these pages. So on this page here, I'm going to put a handmade like glassine bag. This is paper that you would normally use for foundation piecing, and the only reason I'm using it is because vellum refuses to go through my printer no matter what I do. So this goes through it really well, and honestly, it's a little bit maybe thinner than vellum, but it looks the same to me. So we're going to make like a little glassine bag. I'm simply just going to fold it just so that it overlaps just about a half an inch or so, 1/4 of an inch to a half an inch, with the seam going down the center, and then just crease those edges and make sure that it's small enough to go on my page, and it is. Okay, and then we want to fold the bottom up. Don't need to measure, just eyeball it. That's probably about a 3/4 of an inch. And then we want to fold the top up maybe an inch or so. Okay. And we're going to cut off these two parts and these two parts. And then we'll cut the bottom in at an angle. We'll do this side. And I'm cutting just above that crease. Cut in at a slight angle. Let's do the top part. And on this, I'm going to cut right in that crease. And right below. May have to trim a little bit more. Let's see how it closes. That looks pretty good. And that looks pretty good. Cut just a tiny bit more off on this side so it looks even. Okay. And I'm going to round these corners right here, or try to, but the corner rounder will not cut through this paper properly. So I'm going to put a piece of cardstock or something behind it. Then it should go through just fine. Okay. So let's glue this down. And I'm going to use Barely Arts glue for this. A little bit along this edge. Give that a press. And then glue this part down. And this I'll leave open. Okay, so now let's make a tag to go inside this. Isn't that beautiful? This is going to sit here like this. And we're going to glue this down in a way so that, let me turn this back this way. We're going to have a tag that goes in this. Actually, let's see. No, I like this side better. We'll put a tag inside here, and it'll just stick out through the top. And then I'm only going to glue down on the top and the bottom here, and then this will be a tuck. All right, so I'm going to get this, and let's try to figure out how wide to make this. And this is 65-pound shimmer cardstock. I didn't even know I was buying shimmer cardstock, but I like it. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. All right, let me get the cutter. Make sure this fits in here okay. My bag looks crooked. Trim across there. And I did print some tea-dyed paper on the back. I'm just going to round the corners on this and keep it nice and simple. And I have some tabs from the kit. Let's see. I hate to cover that flower up, but anyway, we'll go ahead and do that. Let's ink around this just to be consistent with the rest of the journal. You can see the card through there. It's just so pretty. I'll decide what to do with that flap in a little bit. Let's go ahead and glue this down. You can place this anywhere on the page that you want to. I think I'll just center it. So we're gonna put some glue across the top and the bottom. And we'll come back to that flap. And we may actually maybe add something on the front of that too. I'm not sure. Let's think about that. Okay, on this side, I want to do a belly band. And think. think I'm just going to do one that's about 3.5 inches. So let's ink that. Now what I want to do next is we're going to make some pockets. I think I'm just going to make 2 pockets to go across there. We actually have, maybe I won't make them. I'll just use some of the pockets in the kit. Let's see if they'll fit. Yeah, let's use this. And then we'll have some tags that we can fit in there. Perfect. This is a very simple journal. Really easy to do. I think the first journal that I ever made, I used one of these 9x12 envelopes to do it with. I'll let those dry really good. And then I think I'm going to make another pocket here. I know it's covering some of this stuff up, but I'm not going to make a huge pocket. I think I'm just going to do a little tuck. Let's see what we got. I want to get some of these flowers, so I'm gonna let's see if that will work. It's about 3 1/8. And I don't want it to go all the way across the pocket either. I'm going to trim some of that off the bottom so that we end up with about a 2-inch tuck. And I'm going to cut it at about 4 inches. And then that's going to sit right here, right on the bottom of the pocket. And we have another place to tuck some things into. So let me go ahead and put a notch in there. And then I'm going to round these corners on the bottom. Let's round the ones on top too. Okay, I'm going to let all that dry for a few minutes, and then we're going to come back and finish decorating. Okay, everything is good and dry, and while that was drying, I have gone ahead and put some eyelets in all 3 of the tags. These 2 are for over here. This one is, of course, for the big envelope. And then I have 3 little small floral tags that we will put in that little tuck right here. I'm just running some string through there so we can tie. All right, I have some seam binding that we're going to use. First thing we're going to do, though, is I'm going to put this little piece of floral trim right here on the front of this pocket. And we'll use fabric glue for that. And then for this, we'll put some seam binding in the eyelet. The seam binding is from my scrap cabin. I think we all get our seam binding from there. Let me cut a piece of this. And this will slide down in here. I'm just going to tie these in bows as well. Okay, and then let's go ahead and put some seam binding in these two. And of course, they are way too big. What was I thinking? I'm going to keep these. And let me see if these shorter tags will fit in there. Yep, that's good enough. I don't care if it pokes over the edge of the page just a little bit. That's perfectly fine. It adds interest. So we'll go ahead and use those. And I will put some eyelets in those later. And then we'll save these and use them somewhere else in the kit. Okay. Now just to give this a little bit more pizzazz, I'm going to add some lace here on the bottom. And let's not stop there. Let's add some bling to it as well. Let me see what I got here. Okay, that is absolutely perfect. And let's do the same thing just to be consistent. Let's add a little bit of lace here. All right, this is coming together very, very nicely. So now we need to find something to tuck in our two little belly bands. So let me go search for something fun to put in there and I'll come right back. Okay, I'm back and I've got a couple of little pieces. These are prints of, I believe, French ephemera. Okay, and I printed some tea-dyed paper on the back. And we're just going to slip these in this little belly band right here. And then I'm going to clip them with a little tiny paper clip, 10-volt paper clip that I just tied some pink seam binding around. So hold those in place, keep them from sliding around. Okay. And then for this one, I cut out another piece from cardstock, added a tab, and I'm going to put a little label up here at the top. And one of the sentiments from the kit, it says Untamed Beauty. I'm just going to glue that down to the label. And that will slip right in there under that. Okay. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. This is, I love to make things that have multiple things going on with them. So we took a piece of vellum or like vellum material, and I printed one of the pages from the kit on it and then folded it up, and we made an envelope, and then I glued it on the top and the bottom, and then this tag slides down inside that pocket. Added some seam binding and an eyelet, and then I cut a card to fit under there. Okay, you can see it does not interfere with the closure. Then we have these 3 little tags from my stash. I cut this little tuck out of some of the scrap that we had. Added some lace and some bling at the bottom. And then these are 2 pockets from the kit. Did the same thing with the lace and the bling. And then these tags are from the kit also. And they hang over just a little bit, and I'm okay with that. It's okay to have things, just tuck them in, and we'll still be able to close the journal. Okay. And then we have the pieces of ephemera that I just showed you. So I hope you enjoyed that. It is a really cool page spread. I like it. It's beautiful. And the next thing I'm probably going to film is what to put on the cover. In the meantime, I'm going to continue putting all of the pockets and tags and so forth in the journal. I'm not going to video any of that, but we will video whatever it is that I decide to do with the front cover. Okay, so guys, I hope you will give these kind of elements a try in your own journals, and I hope you all have a blessed day, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.